Nebraska's freezing cold. That is not an understatement. There would be days where it would be -40 and we would not be able to go outside because it was so cold it would take your breath away. So I would suggest for packing wise, thermal garments and lots of them. And leggings were my best friend. And lots of sisters would wear like 2 skirts and leggings and then sweatpants and boots. So layering is definitely a necessity in the wintertime. Staying hydrated and having a water bottle during the summer is important because it can get extra hot. The humidity makes it really cold and really hot. There's no happy medium ever. Like it's either one or the other. And you can, each mission is different. I know that some missions don't like people having backpacks. Our mission was okay with that. I don't know how the rule is, but I had a backpack because I had back problems and we would be riding bikes all the time. And I would pack clothing for anything because if it's hot, don't be deceived. It may be cold like an hour later. So I would pack like a jacket and boots if necessary. Sometimes you would have all 4 seasons in one day. Tornadoes are also a big thing in Nebraska and a little bit of South Dakota and Iowa. But if you're in Lincoln, it's not a big deal. A lot of people would get afraid of tornadoes coming in Lincoln, but never did. But on the outskirts of Lincoln, you should always be cautious. They usually give a siren, or if you see the sky turn green, you should probably go to someone's house. Let's see what else. Well-being wise, emotionally, it's really good to keep in contact with your sister training leaders. I didn't do that as much when I was training. I had a trainee that we kind of struggled together. We were not the same, and we weren't on the same levels of understanding or knowledge, and but we learned so much from each other, and I wish that I had talked to my sister training leaders a little bit more and had asked them for advice or like what more I can do for her, and like just little things that I could have done for her. And my mission president too. I think sometimes we're afraid to talk to our mission president because they are really busy. They're always doing a lot of things. But we shouldn't be afraid to talk to them and their wives. I feel like that would have helped me a little bit better to be emotionally stable because I feel like I was losing my mind as a trainee or a trainer. I didn't know what I was doing. Let's see, other advice. Something that I could have done better. And that I eventually got better at was looking people in the face and showing them the joy that comes from the gospel through my face. I really loved sharing my testimony, and that's where I felt the joy every time. So I would try and testify as much as I could at any point in time, whether it was in a meeting with somebody, or if it was at a cashier. I would just be like, hey, the gospel's great, and I would share a pass along card with them, and they would just laugh and be like, okay. But it brought me joy to share the gospel, and I would make it a game, and I would try and challenge myself and try and share as many pass along cards as I could. And it was always fun to call our zone leaders and be like, hey, we ran out. We need more. And they're like, what? Just gave you some yesterday. So I would say testify as much as you can and build that testimony. Make it a genuine testimony. I think there were some things that I didn't have a testimony of that I had to build on. So like tithing. As missionaries, you don't pay tithing, you pay fast offerings. But even that, I gained a testimony of the importance of paying fast offerings and helping contribute to service all of the time as much as you can. But I think it's also good to be patient when you're building that testimony. Be patient if you don't know if Joseph Smith really is a true prophet of God. Build on it. Try and figure out, why is Joseph Smith a prophet of God? Why was he chosen? Why is he so important and such a big part of the restoration? Why is he important to me? And it'll come. As a missionary, it comes really quick, especially if you want it and you're submitting to the Lord and you're saying, I really do want this. If you're resistant, it's harder to be a missionary. It's harder to feel the power of God. It's harder to testify with true joy, and it's harder to love people.